Access granted. You've successfully hacked the core content of the Dr. C Radio Show. Initiating broadcast. Calling all founders, creators, and change agents. What if you have a solution to a particular problem that your community or the world may be facing today? The universe is waiting. Tell us your story, and we'll set the international audio stage in stream blasting your voice to be amplified and heard out there. This is Dr. C, and welcome to the Dr. C Radio Show.
It is another day here at the Dr. C Radio Show, and this is another awesome, sizzling, fantastic episode. And today we're going to be looking into our data analysis. And today we're very lucky, we're very fortunate to have finally caught this guy, and he is actually a data scientist, somebody who is into data analysis, things like that. So he's going to walk us through into the world of gathering data and let us know about how do we really consume, how do we really use this in our daily living, especially that 2020 onwards. And from here on, we're going to be looking into what data is all about, and it helps us in making intelligent decisions. If we don't have data, how can we have a really powerful and less risk type of decisions? So no data, then you will end up just guessing. So you can't be doing that, especially now you're going to be involved some investments and resources, money, people, time. And if data is not there, you're just going to be just chatting and jabbering and not getting the exact results that we want to. So today, let's educate ourselves. Let our speaker introduce themselves and give us a better perspective about what he was doing. Let's without much further ado, and already spoke about 30 minutes of your time already. Mr. Mark Esguerra, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, hey, hello, Dr. Cliff, and thanks for having me for this show.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while that we have talked, so
Yeah.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. My
So,
pleasure.
yeah, so just to introduce myself, I'm Mark Esguerra I'm from Philippines actually, and
Okay.
actually I'm a data scientist. I'm also doing aside real estate and insurance business and
Right.
social media admin. So there are a lot of stuffs happening on me, but I wanted to focus on data analytics in this session. So it's a pleasure for me to have me here. And yeah, so I am working for the past 6-7 years in a
Yes, sir.
corporate company. So I have been doing data analytics and more on the supply chain side, but data is data. Okay, in anywhere there's data in your mobile phone.
Yes.
Okay, we are consuming a lot of data every day while watching your TV, while sending a text message,
Yes.
while monitoring the what's happening with the pandemic and the
Right.
coronavirus. It's all about data. Actually, what I can see, and most of them are saying that data is the next oil. So just imagine
Oh,
that how
wow.
big it is. Okay,
Wait,
so
Mark, can you say that again? I just want to emphasize on the last phrase that you said. Data is the
data,
new oil.
the new
Continue.
oil. Yeah. So as you can see, the in the past years, we have been like the oil is a big thing. Okay,
Yes.
but now since we are going to the digital era or the digital transformation of
Yes.
what we are doing right now,
Yes.
the fuel that we are actually consuming right now in the digital world is
Right.
actually the data.
Yes.
So it's a big thing, and
Yes.
more to expect on this. You can do a lot of things from data, like you can do predictive analytics. You can use some robotic process automation. Just imagine the possibility of data. Okay, so it's a small piece of information, but when it comes together and it is being used to like provide information, provide insights, drive decisions to the
Yes.
management, to the
Right.
government, to the health sector, data is everything. There's much risk when we have everything digitally being done. Okay, and that brings us to the digital security or data security. And this is also one aspect that is really important that the way we are consuming the data puts us in a point, in a situation that there are so much risk. So imagine our data, like for example, in one of my social media account,
Yes.
if we allow, okay, the providers of the social media account to
Yes.
like get some information to us, they can really manipulate it and they can use it for us or against us. We never know.
Right now, because this is data warfare, I would say that because the more data you have, the more powerful you have, and it's being
Exactly.
used in AI in the future,
Everything.
especially. It's just we are data ourselves. We are small
Yeah.
little pieces of data, and they put together, they create a bigger information that they
Yeah.
can use in anything that they do before they bring up billions and billions of dollars. Of course, the decision maker would say, "Is our data correct? Is our data
Yeah.
accurate? Can we really use that some of this data?" Because like if you have 1 million data available, these are not all usable for consumption. They're just
Yeah.
gonna pick those which they're gonna filter it, they're gonna sort it out in such a way that they can use it and being cost effective about it. So I understand that we are part of the data. Well, we are also consuming the data. So
Yeah.
that's why you are wondering, people could be wondering, why is it that all that shows up on my computer or on my, say, Facebook space, for example. If, for example, you start hitting about fitness, suddenly there's a lot
Exactly.
of audio, video, text, and advertisements about fitness. So those
Okay.
are the type example. Can you tell us more about that? So earlier you mentioned about you're into social media
Digital. Yeah.
marketing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
So
interested to know.
yeah, of course. Okay, let me tell one thing before going jumping into that. So most of the consumers of the social media don't know that their data is actually being tracked or it's actually being gathered. So that's one thing that I would like to share, that be aware of what are the data that are being gathered in your account.
Yes,
Because
yes,
why? Um, some of the digital marketers are actually using this. Actually, you can also download the data that you have in, like for example, Facebook. How many, what are the posts that you have posted? What are the
yeah,
messages? You can
right,
actually download that, and
right,
that's good. And other than that, just imagine having that data present in a database of this.
yes,
It can easily being used. That's that. This is where Facebook is being paid. Okay, like for
right,
the Facebook ads, something like that.
yes,
So we have like those who are that are paying ads in order to target audience.
correct,
See,
correct.
if me, I'm living in the Philippines, and you're living in California, right?
Yes, that's
Uh,
correct.
and if if a digital marketer or someone who wants to run an ad wants to target those that are in Philippines, they can actually select the target Philippines,
Wow.
depending on their demographics. Like you only wanted to target males,
Yeah.
those that have interest with like I don't know, basketball. So it can easily be used. So be aware of the data that is being that you are providing with this social media networks, and not only Facebook. So almost all the social media, and of course TikTok.
Yes.
It's one of the big thing right now. Actually, I think it beats Facebook right now. TikTok.
I know it is, and it's just gaining a massive traction, and it's easy to use, and this is more fun. Maybe one
Yeah.
thing that I could say, I'm not an expert to this. I'm also a rookie. I'm also a student. It's just that maybe at some point Facebook has been in the system for a long while, and people want something
Yeah.
fresh, something mint, something new, something that's more interactive, and so
Dynamic. Yeah.
TikTok got it. So people want to act out, and of course, with the pandemic thing, we're all stuck in our
Yeah.
homes. What do we do? We can't just be watching, staring at the sunshine, staring at the grass grow. We can just
Uh,
be doing it. We gotta do something that's unusual, and it's also fun. Actually, at one point in time, I've been stuck into watching TikTok videos. It's really fun, and
yeah,
seeing
it's fun.
people.
You just
Yeah.
realize yourself you're just watching in hours, and actually you
Yes.
have done nothing.
Right.
Just
Right.
watching.
Okay, so I'm sure you have your TikTok accounts too.
I
I used to
recently
have it.
installed it, but I'm not using it for
Yeah,
fun.
using it.
I'm using it for digital marketing.
Yeah. Right. Cool. So how about this? Let's take a look at if we have a power to see the future.
The one who who do have the data controls more of each of these sectors.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I, because what can you do with the data? You can have it like it's pretty complicated because it depends on the data that you are dealing with. If
Yes.
you're dealing with this data that is being used for like government or financial sectors
Correct.
or
Correct.
like private companies. If you can see, the bottom line of this is that if you have data, you can drive more intelligent decisions, more targeted decisions,
Yes.
decisions that will impact and decisions that will hit the root causes of what you're dealing with. And if you have the data, you have the power actually to really um, control. Should I say control? Because
Right.
you know what to control, what are the interests, what are the problems, what are the issues,
That's right.
and if you know that, I can tell you that um, the impact of everything that you do, if it's driven by the data, it will be it will have a big impact in your company, in your society, in the government, in your financial sector, in
Correct.
everything. So um, there's power in data. Yeah.
Yes. I would like to use that the phrase somehow. There is power in data. And earlier, the first 5 minutes, when we were talking, you mentioned about data is the new fuel or the new oil. Is that what you said? And this is truth to that, actually. Anybody who has the data is more powerful. So that's why if you could hear it in the past say, data is part of information, and information is what we have in our knowledge, because knowledge is power. I just
Mm, yeah.
force it that way. I'm not sure if I said it correctly. On the other side that you do, earlier you mentioned about real estate, and I'm interested in that, especially now. The universe is growing. I would say we have to at least own a little piece of the universe. That could be a small lot, could be a small house somewhere that you like doing, and something you see yourself. How do I want to become in the future? I want to have a little space out there somewhere, and I want to have a home, so to say. Here in California, just give you a little bit,
Yeah.
a little background. Back in the days, and it also happens in pretty much everywhere. It looks like a little swamp area. It could be a lot of, it is a thick forest, could be, or it's just a barren land. But then developers would jump in there and develop it and transform it to the small, wonderful, good-looking and city, I would say, or something that people can have their homes.
And in terms of like my scope, okay, my
Yes,
scope
I think
is
that's a better word.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Philippines, the whole Philippines.
Oh
Okay,
no, really?
yeah, it's the whole Philippines. I'm actually working for the top one real estate broker in Philippines, which is Filipino Homes.
Oh,
And yeah, so just imagine the scope. So anywhere in the Philippines, I can help them find their ideal home, depending on their preferred references or I preferred locations. So if you are
oh,
looking for like a lots, townhouses, condominiums, you name it, I can help them with it in terms of the requirements, in terms of
right.
computations for it. So, um, having that aside, when it comes to uh, real estate, personally, I do, of course, I already own a home, but there are a lot of Filipinos that are really wanting to have a home.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
it's really hard for them, especially those that are working abroad,
Yes,
to find a good one. And
correct.
my function as a marketing salesperson will be a bridge for them. Okay, I will be the bridge for them. I will help them, talking to the developers, what
Yeah,
are
yeah.
getting their requirements, and up to the point that they actually have the keys on their homes.
For homes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, earlier you mentioned about especially the pandemic, and that we cannot predict the future. We cannot
Yeah.
be out there every time, spin the road every time. We're more into home base now. So we want to set
Right.
up that particular homes that we want, where we set it up for our benefit. And also, you mentioned about people abroad always wanted to go home, just like we do. My family always wanted to be home in our very own Philippines. So if our friends are listening right now and they want to have a more reliable anywhere, you just mentioned anywhere in the Philippines, I was just surprised. I thought usually, okay, in Cavite or okay, in Paranaque. Usually it's Cavite right now, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you have, but then you mentioned right now you're all over the Philippines. That is just
Yeah.
massive, I
Anywhere.
would imagine. Yeah. Okay, very nice, very nice. So how do you have like a website, and then also share with us your email, the best way if you have other ways to contact you, to touch base with
Okay.
you. I'm gonna plug it on
Okay.
the screen.
Filipino Homes is the website is www.filipinohomes.com.
Okay.
And if you wanted to visit my personal page
Yes.
in Facebook, in Instagram, and Twitter, you can just type Mark Esguerra FH, or that's Filipino Homes, and
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Okay, hold
you
on.
can
So
find me there.
Mark is Guerra
Mark Esguerra
FH, something like that, right? So
FH.
we would
Yep.
say Instagram and then slash Marcus Guerra FH, and then Facebook.com Marcus Guerra FH, and that's definitely they'll get a connect with you already. Yeah. Okay, so it's Guerra Mark Ebron at gmail.com. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we also flag that on the screen so everybody will have that information, that data you can use whenever you want to communicate with Mark. And also, not also that he is opening the gateway for you to go back home somehow and get that particular investment you want to have for your family, a little home for you, and securing that future. Okay,
And
Mr. Mark, I'd like to hear some few words, some parting words from you. Something that our listeners today can, they walk away with it, and they can also wallow. They can also use that whatever words that you might want to share with us. Because I
yeah,
always ask that particular questions to whoever we have guestings in here in our Dr. C radio show, so that for all the long talks that we have, at least there's one nice word before they finally take off, and use that whatever phrase that you can share with us. Anything, sir, anything. You got it. Go.
okay. Diversify yourself.
Uh-huh. Wait. I'm interested. Diversify yourself. Can you? Sorry, I was just about to ask you a phrase, but I'm interested in that. Can you talk a little bit, just a little bit more about diversify yourself? I think
Okay,
it's very cool.
diversifying yourself. Okay, know what, of course, initially know where are you good at, so
Uh-huh.
enrich it.
Yes.
But at times like this, one stream of income is not enough.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It will be
I
hard.
agree.
If your industry was hit of a pandemic or some problem or issues like that would really stop your income,
Yes.
then you will be in a risky situation. So
Correct.
for
Correct.
me,
Correct.
what I have done is I have diversified myself
Yes.
into five different um, areas, sectors. Where I have
Yes.
a corporate job for stable
Yes.
income. I
Correct.
have life insurance, real
Uh-huh.
estate, data
Uh-huh.
analytics consultancy, and social media. So that way, I can protect myself of being, hit tremendously by
Correct.
a
Yeah,
certain
yeah, yeah,
event.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, yes. I can definitely vouch to that. I can definitely do that, especially now in the pandemic, and we don't know what lies ahead.
Exactly.
So all got to be ready for that. So when you get hit in one side, you can still bounce back. So
Yeah.
by the way, I saw on the word bounce back. They say don't just bounce back, bounce forward.
Wow.
It's pretty good, huh? Don't
Interesting.
just
Yeah.
bounce back, and then bounce, and then go back. Bounce
Forward. Yeah.
forward. It's pretty sick, huh? Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mark Isgara, and you've just seen some few information about how to contact him. Also, today, what we discussed about is data analytics and how we can use data, how data can use us somehow, and what are the things that we have to be worried about? What are the things that we should be what's the benefits of having data, using the data and making our decisions, not just for the superpowers, not just for the bigger or the macro level, but also for the personal level. Coming out for small little data, not obvious, but when we choose our partners, data that we can use when we try to build a house, where in the Philippines, when is that, and who to contact to, just like what Marcus said to the Philippine homes. Data we're going to use before what type of career that we're going to do. Or he said just you have like 5 streams of income going. What are these? Something that's really close to your heart, something you're happy about doing, something that you are very passionate about. Because if your heart is not there, it's going to be hard to be successful in that. And everybody would agree with that. Also, today we spoke about the future and how we see ourselves, or how's data is going to be like, how's data mining business going to be, and how AI, artificial intelligence, will be interplayed in the future. Okay, so I mean, today it's always best that we have a few information to keep on gathering information and kind of learning, because individuals or anybody who has information as data is more powerful. And if you have back then, we have to go in a particular place to mine data, to gather data today everywhere. And data is, he raised earlier our data tool or our data equipment or data machine, just like with this. We have this, you have this in your hand, and it's just available everywhere. Small little child can have it. My daughter is 7 years old right now. She consumes data. She gives away data sometimes too. And not only my daughter, everybody, anywhere in the planet get access to data, which is somehow dangerous too. So you can just contact Mr. Mark, and I'm gonna put it on the screen and you can see it also here in the description of this video. It could be in YouTube or LinkedIn or somewhere on Facebook or Twitter or maybe on Instagram, or however we want to do that, or the website. There's always a way to find that person, so it cuts down the time you're gonna search for people whenever to reach for anything that you want to use. All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Mark. I want to shake hands with you virtually. We can't do it here, but maybe sometime in the future, you're in the US, you're in California, let me know, and I'll be your guest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm gonna say goodbye now. Thank you, Mr. Mark, and of course, our listeners. Thank you so much for your time again.
Well, thank you for sticking around with Dr. C and today's special guest. If you have a story to tell the world, email us at drcradioshow@gmail.com and we'll set the stage for you. Until the next episodes with the Dr. C Radio Show, where we help amplify your voice to the world.